Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Unturned podcast. I'm your host, Cookie Charles, and we're joined once again by Stas Wally.
Hello.
DeLeona.
Yeah.
Megamind.
Unturned.
Megamind is our special guest today, because I thought it was funny. And also, we did a tournament. What was it? How long ago was it now? 2 weeks ago?
Something like that, I don't know.
Yeah, I wasn't
You-
around when it was happening.
Let me check. It was
Was it
like
2 weeks ago?
it was 19th of February, and it's now March.
It's now
4th.
March.
March.
Something
yeah,
like
so
that.
it was a while ago.
It's been a while. It's been a while.
It's been a hot moment.
Yeah.
I guess before we get into that whole debate, Megamind, let me ask you some just general questions that I usually ask regular guests on the show. When was the first time you played Unturned?
Bro, I don't even remember. Probably like, I remember watching Paul Soares Jr. when I was like 9 years old. That was the first time I ever saw Unturned. Played it
Was there
probably
Paul?
like 2019. Because I didn't.
2019.
The reason I never played it because I never knew what the game was called until like a few years ago. I'm like, wait, what the hell? I remember this.
Hmm.
It's funny.
That's interesting. So you got through YouTube is basically where you found Unturned.
Yeah.
That's kind of interesting.
So you,
What do you say?
so you
I guess
knew
as
the
a-
game. You knew the game by the name of Epic Base Raid. That was the.
Yeah, I knew it
Base raid
through
game.
Survival RP episode 53.
Awesome.
Would you say that? Well, what would you say was the most interesting part of Unturned when you first played it after seeing it on YouTube?
Bro, like the mods were really crazy to me. Like they don't look like Unturned at all, but like all those vehicle and gun mods, I was like, bro, this is the coolest shit ever.
Okay, that's interesting. Would you say? Well, okay. I guess another explanation. What do you do now for Unturned?
Make a video once a month. Leave.
And you've been on this like grind for a while. I mean, I've seen
Bro, like
me.
me.
Of one video. a
No,
month.
there's no grind anymore. The grind was last year, and the grind will be next year, hopefully, for what I have planned. But we'll see. But you've been on this grind, Megamind, for like a hot moment, and you basically, I mean, it's pretty funny. Most of your content I watch, like it's pretty good. I think people that haven't watched them go check out Megamind. In the
Dude,
description
some of
below.
them are too funny. I had to take some of them down. They were a little too funny.
Well, I did take them
It's
down.
really funny.
Okay, there was one with unturned antics, and he was being a
Alright, you
little...
can stop there. Alright, we already know what the info we need.
No. It was a little too racist.
Yeah, thought so.
Yeah, that's what I thought. No, we had some good videos. Me and you, we did Sunita started
Polaris
that one.
tent, bro.
Yeah, Polaris tent.
Oh my god! Thank God we're not in the duo Polaris tournament because we'd just be hiding in that tent.
We would
the
just be
whole
hiding in the
time.
tent. I forgot. It's funny because when we did that, I didn't really like half of the players that existed there. Like I didn't even really know. It's funny that we were in Wesley's tournament chat and they were talking about the server that we played on and how we were camping in the
Engines,
fucking
yeah.
tent. Yeah,
Dude, we got rep for that one.
they got rep.
They were on alt. I remember the guy was like, "Do you remember Megamind was chasing you with the shotgun?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, vengeance, bro."
Dude, that's so.
Tent.
Yeah. Then we told them about the tent, and they were like, "It was you guys." Yeah, it was kind of funny. Yeah, I didn't think anybody from the whole shebang would remember any of that because that was pretty. I mean, we were just chilling in that tent. We were holding our ground. If ever go watch that video,
And
watch
that
video. It's so
barn as well. We would
The
go to
barn?
that barn at this like before we found out about the tent. We would keep going back to this barn.
good. Oh yes,
These people
The
were like
fucking
so
barn.
mad.
Oh yeah, that was the first clip of your video. Was those guys that were just kind of mad at like anybody coming to their barn. I think they eventually got all killed. Which is
We
kinda
were like, "Bro, are you all right?" He's like, "No, I'm off my meds."
funny. yeah, I remember the clip. Yeah. But besides content, like I guess I should ask you this because I wonder this about you, Megamind, when it comes to you doing the things you do when it comes to your YouTube channel. Is why? what keeps you going? Because I mean, sometimes I question. I'm like, you're telling me like I gotta make a video. I'm like, but why?
I make stuff for my future self to like watch. Basically.
So it's more like memories for you, right?
Yeah, that's why I make I made so many like nostalgic videos. That's just for me.
I see. So you're kind of like I'm kind of like in the same boat as you then, because I mean, like half my videos, if I'm bored, I'll just watch my own videos, like, and I'll be like, yeah, this is true as hell. So I get that. It's I guess it's interesting because you do it more like I guess more in the moment. The moment. Oh, now stats gone. You do it more in the moment. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That is interesting because I think about the content creation scene, and I mean it's still kind of like the same as it been from the since we started really. But I mean, I don't know. People always tell me that there's nothing you can do with this game, and I always tell them there's always shit. And seeing you specifically go ahead and push to make content, even though it's not necessarily made for other people, it's more made for you. Like you still do it. I do admire a bit of that because even I can't even fucking keep to a schedule. Usually when I have like videos that I even do, like there's a bunch of like projects that will never come out because I get bored of them. And like if there's a video that I want to put out, it's gonna be like really good, like topic wise, just because that's the most interesting to me, and I feel like that would just be like something I could put out. Like I've told Stas certain things, and I've only told him the interesting shit. And he's like, "You can make this a whole thing," and I'm like, "I know," but I'm lazy. So I admire your grind when it comes to your video etiquette.
Yeah, I hear like people say there's nothing you can do, or like, I don't have good editing. Like, videos, it's not really about the editing or what you're doing, it's about who's there, mostly. Like, all the videos, it's just about the personalities in them, honestly.
It's just about making it entertaining, after all. Like, how you make it entertaining is up to you.
Yeah.
Like, some people have very good editing skills. Some people have some people are just cracked at the game, and some people are just funny. Yeah.
I want to see
Yeah, I agree.
I want to see more cinematography in Unturned. That's what I really like.
Fucking Cerati type of videos.
Yeah, if like those are actually really cool. Like if you go back and look at those, especially for their age now.
They're
Like,
still good. Yeah.
They're still really, they hold up really well. Like he makes it funny, but it also tells like kind of a coherent story. In a way, like there's a little bit of narrative behind it. I think it makes it interesting. Like
Cerati is the lazy purple of Unturned.
Yeah, like the Carpat, like the green guy, he like disappears.
I think
don't know. We still don't know to this day what happened.
That guy probably has no idea of the influence he's had over the Unturned community.
He probably doesn't even know that he was in the video.
Yeah, he has no idea how one moment in the Cerati video changed the perspective of like the majority of the people that watched that video.
Yeah. Do you think he still like plays Unturned?
Who? The guy?
Yeah.
Probably. I don't know. Maybe not. The majority of Unturned players don't stick around for very long. Yeah. I've been around the block for like 20 generations at this point.
Oh yeah, this is actually a very good point to segue into something I could bring up. I have seen people on the subreddit bring up stuff like there is 44,000 subreddit members and there's like 50,000 active players or something like that, and they're calling it suspicious. Something seems fishy, stuff like that. And
no, it's suspicious. It's growing.
Do you think?
No,
do you think someone's buying Unturned shit? I don't know.
I'm not denying it, but I'm saying that half of the people on that subreddit don't play. Like the last time they have played Unturned was in like 2.0, and half of the people that are active Unturned players don't know that the subreddit exists. Yeah, exactly what you said. It's like Unturned is a game that many people just kind of play for a while and then never come back to it later. And I have met like in real life a lot of people who are like, Unturned, I think I have heard of that blocky zombie game, right? but they have never like they don't know what Belgium is and stuff like
Good.
that.
Good, bro.
Not the
Good.
map, just the actual place.
They don't know what
Belgium,
Belgium
they don't know
is.
what it is. They've heard of Unturned, but not Belgium.
The one
Yeah.
time I played Belgium, I wanted to get that big airplane. I was driving the tank, and I ran into a zombie and flipped it like 50 times. It was awesome.
Dude, Belgium was such a broken mess. I remember the moment that it came out, and you can literally just walk into the tank like hatch area, and you can start flying. Like you didn't even need anything. You just needed to put your body in the tank area, and you can fly.
That's
That
so
tank,
stupid.
that tank wants to fly in specific. That one tank.
Yeah, that one tank is the only one that can
Dude,
fly. Well, at the time
Don't deny the tank its dream, alright?
it was.
I need to remember what Belgium was. Oh, it was that map. I never played that map.
It's the green
I
one.
didn't
me,
play
me
it. The
neither.
green one. Never
I have
played
a-
it.
European PEI.
Like
Yeah, it's so bad.
the curated maps
April
outside of the newer ones, which is Elver and Forward, basically. Outside of those, I have not played anything. I think I have played France, but I've played for like I don't even know the map layout, basically.
France was the first ever map I played multiplayer on. I like
think
France.
I think
yeah.
so too, because around the time when it came out, that was when I first played 3.0, I think.
Dude, I have so many. I remember I was getting chased in a helicopter one time by like 2 sandpipers and I combat logged. So I was
In
like,
the
bro, I'm not
helicopter?
dying to these guys. Yeah, in
Bro,
the
lol.
helicopter. I was like, die lit.
That's so real.
And when I
I
logged
think-
back in, I was just on the floor chilling.
I think something interesting to note when it comes to okay, I'll say this right now. I think Cerati was trying not to be rude about the mapping scene at the time, because a real problem that he brought up is that like people felt drained, which is why people had so much hope for 4.0. Like I think an actual huge reason of why people thought that Unturned was never going to succeed was probably because of the quote-unquote new content that Nelson would promote. Now, that's not to say that the content was bad. I feel like a lot of the content was pretty adequate for the time, I guess. I don't know. I'm not a map maker, so I can't really say. And nor was I in that space in that time. So I don't even know what was even possible back then. But I mean, as a player and a person that's been playing the game for a long time and seeing like maps like Ireland or Belgium come out, it was completely demeaning and like horrible to play. Like these quote unquote new experiences for Unturned. And I feel like a lot of the player base, and I think Cerati knows this, and he didn't put in the video, but I think he wanted to. The player base really at that point was like, well, we're kind of like getting nothing at this point, and the things we're getting are like half baked, so why not put our like eggs into this basket, which is 4.0, which
Why
looks
not
very
just
interesting.
start over?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. Maybe there's a case to be made. I believe in the case. And if someone were to look back, maybe you can go back to like the old Reddit post at the time and look at all the shit that people used to say back then, or even look at Unturned Official when Belgium came out, because I believe Belgium was heavily talked in Unturned Official when that came out. I remember people complaining about it as well. And I think you can piece together a huge swath of how the degradation of curated maps really caused a vying for something new, which I think also exacerbated 4.0 to the extent where everyone was like, alright, I'm just waiting for 4.0, screw 3.0. Again,
then over
I said this
happened.
before. I'll say this before. I said this before. Trial by fire, or like, what was it? Like, acid was poured onto the green grass, and only a little bit of the grass survived.
Yeah, a lot of people
yeah.
left with bad blood. It's no
Dude,
good.
it's kind of funny. The reason why I bring up 4.0 anyway in the now is also I keep seeing people ask Nelson whenever he does anything is where's 4.0, and I don't think people realize that 4.0 is also just not being worked on right now.
The suggestion channel still exists. That's
The
funny.
suggested channel for 4.0 still
I
exists.
bay.
Yeah, I just keep saying,
know.
like I said, eating food. That was my suggestion the other day.
Dude,
Really?
I think that
Yeah,
should be added.
I always get like blocked from posting in there. Like as soon as I send something, it gets instantly deleted. I think
I
it's
got-
I think it's a
Dude,
bot or something.
Bro, get
1984.
ops. Bro, get ops. Like,
They don't like me.
Dude, yesterday I got muted from UO, like Unturned
Oh,
official. And
'cause the-
I
Why?
have no idea why.
It's because of the unturned memes, bro. They unblocked it. They opened the gates.
Hmm.
I don't know, because I didn't get blocked.
I
'Cause
was-
I was memeing as well.
I think I was just having a normal conversation in modding, and then I get muted, and then like 5 minutes after I get unmuted, and I just got no explanation of
I'm
why
blaming
I
this
was
on
muted.
Vex. I'm
I
blaming this on
guess
Vex.
I'll let the audience decide. Should I become a Unturned official mod?
No.
Yeah, and then give
No.
me like powers
Give
secretly.
me okay. If you get
me
an Unturned official mod, okay. Oh wait, you know what? I'm gonna say something real quick.
I have been offered the position, and I don't know what I'm supposed.
Be like whatever his name is, and change the permissions on one of the roles, and then say you're stepping down, but actually still have mod powers, even though you're
Exactly. You know. I was gonna say that right now, Megamind. I was literally gonna say that. I like how Molt. Well, I don't know the full extent of the conversation of how it went down because that was behind the scenes. But the Ex Machina was supposed to be stepped down from his position of power, but he circumvented it. That's all I'm gonna say. But like, I think it's stupid. A lot of the shit Unturned official gets away with is just ridiculous. I understand Molt that like he doesn't want to be hands on. I know that for a fact. SCG doesn't want to be hands on for the majority of the stuff. But to circumvent like positions where SDG is what he's saying, and like being like doing this like sussy crap, behind your back is stupid. And I don't know if he's been alerted about it because the rest of the staff team is kind of doesn't have no spine and doesn't really care about Unturned as a whole. They never really did ever. I want to say that real quick. Yeah, I hate all the Unturned official discourse.
I think
yeah, we hating.
I think it's kind of wild that none of the admins I've spoken to are actually actively playing Unturned
Yeah,
in Unturned official.
none of them care.
I feel like
You
that's
talk to all of them, and they're like, "Oh, I haven't played Unturned in months."
like yeah.
No, it'd be like years.
Like yeah, I think one of the like modding support was like, oh yeah, no, I haven't played Unturned properly in like 2 years. I just make mods. Like what?
Oh. How do you make
Huh?
mods without playing the game?
Like I think they mean like properly playing, like hopping on and like playing a server or something. Like they haven't like or like even single player. They haven't done that in like
I see
2
that.
years.
That
Like
makes sense.
huh?
It's like a sandbox.
How?
Not even a sandbox. It's like you're cutting yourself off from the main point of like what you're trying to build around. I mean, unless you're making like some crazy shit that doesn't really need Unturned base game.
Oh yeah,
Or,
no,
like, anything?
they were just making like basic vehicles and guns.
I don't know. I need to go.
They go on
go
their
look at that
test
stuff.
world every couple days to like make their
They gotta test it.
gun, and then they never play again.
Yeah.
It's funny because I mean, like anybody that's listening to this, you should make a test world and then I labeled my test world Glitching Paradise. So if you ever see me playing Glitching Paradise, you know what that is.
Paradise, bro.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, I enjoy it.
Is there
you know what's
glitching
funny?
heaven?
It's funny because I remember I made it firsthand. I got like so many DMs like, "What the fuck are you playing?" But I mean, it's funny because I haven't. I brought this up to I forgot who, but people were like saying that I think it was Train Dude. Is who I was talking to at the time. He was saying that he was like 800 hours in. It was touching the editor for Unturned. I told him I played about at the time. I think it was like 8,000 hours in total. And I told him I never touched the editor. I never touched the editor. And he was like, "What?" And I'm like, "Yep, never touched the editor." And even for that, I think like the majority of it, I didn't even touch mods for the most part. Like
Dude.
the only reason why I curated content ever at all I touched was because they were promoted on the workshop or like for stuff that was coming out, like Hawaii. So yeah.
Dude, Train Dude was gonna make a rewind. I wanted to see that.
I don't know if you were going to talk about it. I didn't. Did you made your rewind? I watched that.
I actually I thought it was gonna be fun competition.
But the train, I don't know. Train was being silly.
I asked him recently. He said he's still working on it.
He's still
Honestly,
in 3 months already out.
It's like
bro,
a few
what?
weeks ago, but
This is a few weeks ago. Okay, come on.
I still want to see it though. Honestly, I want to see what he was
Yeah,
cooking
Of
up.
course.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, it's so long. That's funny. Well, good on him for at least continuing it. I probably would have just thrown it away at this point.
I did not make a, or did I? Yeah, I don't think I did a like a recap, which I
Brain
usually
dude,
did.
continue, bro. I want to see it, even if
I
it's
did
just
one.
like unlisted, bro. Send it to me.
Yeah.
Unlisted. Do you think that, like,
Why
I
just
don't
like
know.
20?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about 20.
This is
Don't
this
worry
is
about it.
this is the glitches code, all right?
Don't talk about glitches in here, okay?
This guy leaking another Xbox code, bro.
No, man, I'm not leaking another Xbox code.
You're a
I mean,
leaker.
it's funny. It's 'cause, I don't even know. I remember. Do you remember Stas? Someone was like got it in like the first 5 minutes. I think
Yeah.
someone got it in the first 5 minutes. I don't know. I think they looked at the
Someone got it in the first. No, they were watching on double speed.
Did they
No, no, no,
transcript it
I-
or something?
No,
I have
because
no
that
idea.
person, the second time they were watching on double speed, like a couple people, but it was already taken like 5-10 minutes.
Someone
because
got
they
it
looked at the
in
transcript.
5 minutes. Someone
Yeah,
They,
got
they
it
looked
in
at the
5
transcript.
minutes. Yeah. Someone got it in 5 minutes, even though it was like a 20, 30-minute episode.
It was like an hour and like 20 minutes, and people. I think they just looked at the transcript when we say, "All right, we're gonna enable the next code."
Yeah, probably.
Which, to be
That's-
fair, I mean, yeah, I
But
don't
that's
know.
how you get views, alright? That's how you get viewer retention.
Your retention is to
Because
listen to every moment of the code.
Not many people realize that people are just gonna steal the code in the first few minutes, but
Yeah, or it was taken beforehand. You never know.
you
Maybe it was
never
taken
know.
beforehand.
You never know.
Maybe it
You might
never
have-
existed, bro.
might
Maybe
have
you
used
just
it.
make up a code.
That reminds me of one. I don't know if you guys.
I
ever
have
know
a-
about this.
I have a Uber Eats discount coupon if you want one.
You okay? Nah, we're not doing that.
Dude.
We're about to label the Uber Eats discount coupon for the podcast.
Yeah.
What is
That'd be
this?
kind of awesome.
I don't know if we want to talk about this. I
We're
think I'm
gonna
gonna
talk about
say
the tournament. I thought that was like the main thing.
I guess we could talk about that tournament. I think that's interesting. Well,
Yeah.
for context, Wesley made his. I think it was his second tournament. That
Second
he's-
tournament.
Yeah, second
Yeah.
tournament that he created, and we were me, Megamind, and DeLeono all signed up to the tournament.
MCD, baby.
MCD, yeah. Which is kind of funny because everyone's names kind of suck. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like everyone, MCD was just the best name. I don't care what anybody says.
All right.
No,
Anyway.
it was just so good. But anyway,
Yeah,
we were playing the event, and there's a lot of problems. I guess from my end because I'm in America as opposed to like where the event was kind of originally. I don't know. The event was. It's okay. I'm trying to let me give more context of what was going on. No,
Bad.
I'm not
Had a
saying
good
that. I'm not gonna
time.
say that right now. I'm gonna explain to the audience what happened. So
Okay.
we all signed up for this event. I thought that the time that the event was going to start was 1 p.m. PST, right? I came into that assumption and I was like, okay. But then I realized that the time was actually for for EU, and the tournament would begin on EU. Now this is
About
a
a 9 a.m.
48-hour
for me.
tournament you're playing on. This is a 48-hour tournament that you're playing on, and it starts in European server. And by the way, this is a survival.
Europea.
Europea, my favorite map.
Okay, whatever, man. It's what was the
Dude.
map? It was what was it? Trilogy. It was
Trilogy.
It was the map was Trilogy, and the server was starting in in Europe, basically, right? The server
Yeah.
hoster, and it was like starting at like 1 a.m. my time. So I kind of was screwed. I stayed up super late just to play in the event for like I don't know for like 4 hours, and then went to sleep. And then Diddley fucking pulled a full full all-nighter and played the whole
Almost
of it
did
for
like a 12-hour stream.
no, it was like
as well.
18, 16 hour, right, Diddley?
I played. Yeah, no, my stream was about 16 hours. I played
Oh my God.
up until an hour before the event got cancelled.
Cancelled.
Yep.
Yeah, which I think was it longer than the guys who won? I don't know.
No, we
It
we
might
all
have been
started
the
at
same time. Yeah,
But here's the problem with the whole. I think
it had a lot of
with the whole event.
problems.
But it was just really silly. A lot of things were a little silly.
Dude,
Okay,
I
so
found it was there was some funny parts though. I found a guy in the France Crusader, and I was like, Z-Man, and then he shot me. I was like, Z-Man, what the hell?
Yeah.
And
yeah,
he
that
was
kid
like,
did not know who the hell I was talking about.
he was like some Wesley fan. He didn't even know who Z-Man was, bro.
Yeah.
He was like, stop talking to me. Who are you?
Yeah, that was pretty funny. I saw because I was hearing you talk about that during the event. That was kind of
Yeah.
funny. Yeah, there was some pretty funny moments. I think my most fond memories of the whole event, to be fair, was just the melee combat. Like I was just having a blast killing kids with
Yeah.
like shovels, batons. Like I had like a triple like kill streak in fucking Statford with a baton. And then Wesley came over just to watch me like whack like 3 kids. I'm like, I had so much
Dude.
fun with that.
I remember we were getting so unlucky, like in Washington, like we were just getting clobbered. I move over to
Yeah.
Yukon for 5 minutes and get like 4 charges because the
Yeah.
spawns were the same.
Yeah,
Dude,
because
it was funny.
yeah.
Because
It
you
was-
gun spawns were silly.
Dude,
It
I
was-
was
it was
living at
definitely-
off limits for so long. Like,
It was definitely one of the events of all time.
But okay, let's give a little bit more context of who was playing in this event because we were playing this event, of course, but there was other groups that were playing. I think how many groups were playing? 18 groups. Was
Something
it
like
18
that.
teams?
No,
was 18 teams of
we
3.
will now talk terribly. So basically, the event was horrible. Here's why. So, I think the main thing that
Time.
kind of irked us, time, yeah, was the first thing, was time. First off, 48 hours was too much, and second, it was at the weirdest start time ever. It was 9 a.m. for me, 1 a.m. for Charles, like you said, right? 1
3 a.m. for me.
3 a.m. for you. And even on stream, like Wesley looked absolutely exhausted, as if like it wasn't a good time for him either. It was a good time for no one.
I don't even know who like time it was good for. Like I think everybody.
Yeah.
I think it
Maybe
should
it
have.
was, like, all
It
the
shouldn't have
degenerates.
switched either. It should have just been EU or NA, not both.
Yeah.
And then halfway through, I think there were going to be if the event didn't get cancelled, which it did. There was going to be 4 switches. There was so it started on EU, then it switched to NA after 12 hours, then it switched back to EU after 12 hours, and then for the final 12 hours it was going to be NA again. And that was how it was supposed to go. And then also others, like a lot of other stuff was weird. I think as an event like this, Trilogy doesn't work because there were like 2 locations that were good. There was Summerside Military for like there were like the 2 military locations on PI, which were Confederation Bridge and Summerside Military Base, which were good for full military and Maple Strike because those have busted spawns, and like that's it pretty much. Then there was just Seattle.
I think the issue also was just too big. Like there was 30 players
Yeah.
on, and I barely saw anybody. Like that's
Yeah.
how it really was, and I was like, man, it's just kind of like a big map for no reason. Especially what Wesley was anticipating, like 108 players to show up for the event, I believe it was, which was ridiculous. That number is not happening. I'm sorry, Wesley, that just number is
What
not
it
happening.
should have been is that for map decisions, there should have been thresholds for what map was decided, and
Oh, hell yeah.
depending on the amount of players. Like, let's say 20 people sign up, it would be like Russia. Like 40 people sign up, it would be like Trilogy. Like 100 people sign up, it's Amio. Stuff like that.
Mhm.
Obviously not those maps exactly, or maybe who knows. But that should have been how it went, because that's a lot
Yeah, it was a
smarter.
bit- it was a
Instead
bit
of just
odd.
going, instead of just assuming that the most amount of people would show up, which they didn't, and going with the largest map they could. It just didn't work out. Especially because places like Yukon were barren for most of it.
Yeah, I was
Um,
enjoying my time at
Dude,
Yukon.
Yukon was
honestly.
barren, and it was the best place to be.
Dude, yeah. So we got like 8 detonators. Like, like it was so stupid. I don't even know.
Oh,
what was
remember
going
when
on.
they thought Diddley was an admin during a base
fought-
raid?
Oh my
yeah,
God.
There was a base raid. Right? There was a base raid, and they thought that I was an admin that came into see, like, spectate it, and they said that in voice chat, and so they completely ignored me, and they were just raiding, and I just walked in and picked up like 3 detonators and walked out.
And then left.
and then left, and they did nothing about it. And I walked like all the way over back to Yukon, where like the rest of you were, and they just did nothing because they thought I was an admin, so they just let me go.
That was kind of funny, yeah.
Because I waited
was
for
a
them to
devious
not
lick.
look, and then I picked up items. Because if they saw me pick up items, they probably would have shot me.
Devious as hell.
Yeah.
I think we should talk about what caused it to end so abruptly, because I was there when it ended, and I was like, no fucking way. Because I was in the voice call with friends, I'm like, ain't no way it's happening. But
okay.
let me give you a
Tournament
little
was
bit more
won in
context.
8 hours by
So,
one team.
there was a bit suspicious activity happening on the server. Basically, I'm looking through the list of players. I'm like, I know a couple of these people, and I'm letting Megamind
Yeah.
and Leona know
Of
who
course.
these players are.
You wanna,
And-
because because you wanna think it's a tournament for money. Obviously, people are gonna like, some of the best players are probably gonna show up because it's just free cash for them. Issue was, there was a team of people who were level 0 on Steam, private profiles, with Discord accounts which were made just weeks prior to the event starting, and this team was the team that won.
Well,
And-
hold up. I think you're not
Yeah.
giving it a little bit more context here. Well, this team, yeah, they're the team that eventually won, but they weren't vetted beforehand, and Wesley didn't check them beforehand. So he literally midway through the tournament, we're like having to tell Wesley, who are these people? Like, and Wesley had no idea who these players were. And
Apparently.
Oh, he knew, but
No, he knew eventually,
Apparently he
but
knew.
he knew
He
it
didn't.
like midway through the tournament, which shouldn't really have happened. I don't even know. Like, there was like a bunch of random guys that literally made accounts for your event.
Yeah,
Like
and then,
it was specifically for his event. Like,
and then
that's what
when
they
we
said.
when we asked him who they were, he just said, "Oh, you don't know? They're cracked." Like, can we know?
Okay,
No.
To be fair, I guess I understand his perspective on the whole point. To play devil's advocate here, I understand that he wanted to keep this like weird facade that they weren't playing into for the event. But here's the problem with that.
Why?
Because these guys are just trolling. That's what they're trying to do. I assume so because that's what it seemed like. But when it came down to it, a lot of the player base and me, DeLeona, and Megamind, we're all thought that something was wrong with this team.
Yeah.
Eventually, we come to the fact that these players were actually legit players. They weren't hacking. We're not trying to say that.
Yeah.
They were not cheating. I eventually figured out who they were because Wesley told us.
I don't know, bro. I
To
still
be-
think
No.
like,
I know these guys. All
all
I've
the
seen them before.
achievements
Those
unlocked
guys are
at
sussy
one
players.
minute.
I asked one of them, and they were like, "No, they just went to those old achievement servers. You can click a button or like
Oh,
eat a
yeah.
food item and get that's what they did." And I'm like, okay,
To be fair, when they were completely sweeping, I think they got to I think one of them got to like a KD of just a solid 50, and
Yeah.
at that point, because we were told by Wesley that the previous players and stuff they weren't playing, and so we thought there's no way that these people who are outperforming last tournament's winners are actually them or anything, because obviously they're outperforming them. And so we logically just jumped to they're probably hacking.
I assumed it was just very weird because it was okay to give credit to us because I don't want to accuse anybody of cheating. I never want to do that. But these guys were literally zero zero level players with fucking no hours in the game. Nobody knew who these guys were. Wesley didn't even know who these guys were for 6 hours of the event. These guys were just it was very suspicious. I honestly think there should have been more credence on Wesley before the event started, just in case. Because if actually those guys were cheating, literally the event was basically ruined because of the non-due diligence of Wesley. And on top of that, here's another problem. Besides all of the, what could have happened shit, but what did happen was a lot of half of the player base thought these guys were cheating. And because of how good they were. Now, these guys are good players. That's the reason why. But it did not help the fact that these guys literally had 0 hour, basically 60-hour accounts and 0 level, accounts playing on this event. And nobody knew who these guys were, made new Discord accounts. They were half of the event was something is wrong here. this is not right, and did not believe that these guys were playing legit. Even people that were playing in the event who were also helping Wesley during the entire event was saying, I don't know, I'm not trying to say that these guys are cheating, but something suspicious going on. But that doesn't seem like anything is cheating. And these guys were like, I think one of them was a really old server hoster back in the day. I'm trying to remember his name. I don't remember on the top of my head. But literally, like, people were like, yeah, these guys, something's wrong with these guys. So, like, half the player base stopped playing because they wanted to play this, like, you know, troll on the tournament that these guys were, like, all good players. Which, I mean, do you? But, like, it was just kind of like, eh. But, I mean, eventually we did figure out these guys weren't cheating because Wesley did tell us who it was, and it made sense because they were in a group with one other member from the old event, but it wasn't the whole entire group of the ones that previously won the event. It was a whole ordeal. But these guys, I knew these guys because I used to play against them on Panda Hub 4 back in the day.
Oh my god,
those guys, Panda Hub 4. If you there's tryhard servers that people go to, and Panda Hub 4 is definitely one of those, you know, those servers where it's like a, I don't know what you call it, breeding pit.
I used to be in the streets of Panda Hut 4. Actually, I'm like really high ranked on there as well. Like I have like 30,000 points, and I don't even know how.
That sounds about right.
Because you get points for killing zombies, and I just used to like go around and kill zombies, get an eagle fire, and like mess around.
I think if you played Panda Hut long enough, you literally get like top 30.
I didn't even play it that long, but like one day I went on and did /rank. I was rank 1. I'm like, oh damn.
I think that
GG.
I think that with that group, I think the main thing was that Wesley and his staff wouldn't ever disprove to us that they were like not cheating or anything, or give us any like faith that they weren't at all. And so when it was revealed who they were, I felt like that was just kind of bad for them as well, because there were just these like unknown people who had all of these like cheating accusations against them, and then they're suddenly revealed to be like these other people. In my mind, the first thing that came to me was, surely all of those like cheating allegations are just going to go to the real people now, right? Because
nah, I mean, a lot of the guys that are playing, I know there was this Hispanic guy. I don't know what his name is. I forgot his name. He keeps changing his name, but he has like, I don't know, 10,000 plus hours in the game. And he was like, who are these guys? And I seen them like a long time ago back on Phoenix Gaming. If anyone knows who Phoenix Gaming is, he used to play that link a lot. There's a lot of people. If you were from Phoenix Gaming, if you were from there,
Doesn't Phoenix do like Unturned, or is that a different Phoenix?
No, it's like it was a Washington PvP server. Phoenix, that's where some OGs were made. Some of the players from Phoenix were on that event, and it was so funny because I was listing some of them off to you guys, and I was like, I know this guy. So it's kind of funny because there's certain servers again like that have that dedication like from certain players, and they become really good because of that server. And they go on to the next best thing, you know. But anyway,
yes, yeah.
What's I on about? Okay, but anyway, what was I saying? I forgot what I was saying. Basically, it was
I think that yeah, especially because when Wesley did because at that point we knew it was either hacking or alts, and when Wesley came in and then actually like he came into our VC and then actually started to discuss it with us, and he said we wanted to know why these random people, why these like 8-hour accounts are better than the previous winners. And then he said it's because it's them. And then immediately we asked him for proof and he said no. So that just didn't dispel anything. Like he said that they DM'd him on their main accounts to prove it was them on alt accounts. And we asked to see the screenshots. And he said no, which is really weird to me. Because surely that completely clears it. Like, oh, okay, so it is
that completely clears it, and I don't think that's any like sensitive information that they can share.
Because surely all they did was just say, "Hey, it's us on this account," like, but he just didn't, and so we were kind of just sitting there like, why not? Because to us that means. Because to me at least, that was a cover-up. Which, now obviously, I probably know it's not. But at the time, because
It was just
obviously I was mad that these random people.
No, at the
Well,
time it was
better,
you had
yeah.
all the right to have the suspicions because
Yeah,
like not
incredibly
not
suspicious.
that you were not presented with evidence, you were directly denied it. So
Yeah. And
It was just odd. It was really weird.
Yeah.
But here's what officially ended the event. If all of the crap beforehand, I could have brushed that away and been like, okay, that was just random bullshit that Wesley did. He's probably not gonna do it again. And I'm like, okay,
okay. The reason the event ended.
no, I
even-
want to say this,
Yeah,
please.
look.
I was there in the flesh, bro. I saw it happen right
No, no,
before
no,
my
I'll
eyes.
let you- I'll let
What's
you-
the official reason? What's the official reason?
I'll let you say it, but I just
So,
want to preface it with Salty Waffles agreed that this was a bad thing, and he
I
was
think
one of the
everybody
people who
agreed
he
it was a
accused
bad
to be
thing.
playing. Yeah.
I think everybody agreed. But okay, I'm gonna set the stage for everyone listening. I am playing and I'm building the base right next to Off Limits because Megamind was grinding there, and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna build here. I just built like a really nice base, and I'm sitting there. And by the way, Wesley at this whole entire time, he's like been AFK, quote unquote, from his stream for about 2 hours. So he's not been streaming for 2 hours basically. He has like his like stream overlay on, showing all the points of the event going on, but that's basically it. So like there's a bunch of people playing the event, like just normal players are playing on the event, just doing everything they can. And what Wesley did is he had a conversation with the team that was dominating the whole event, right? And he told them, I need to make a deal with you guys to get off the server. And he literally told them, and by the way, this is like 18 hours into the event. This is like 18 hours into the event, by the way. And these guys have been playing straight, 18 hours straight of the event. And Wesley says, I'll give you guys base protection if you guys get off right now. And they took the deal, which, I mean, of course, I would have taken the deal same as well if I was getting base protection after playing for 18 hours straight. And literally, no one was able to raid them at all. And I was so pissed.
Anyway.
I was like, what the fuck? Are you serious right now? Like, everybody was so mad. Everyone was so mad. They were like, are you serious right now? Are you for real? By the way, these guys were raiding everyone's base back to back to back to back. And by the way, some players were not even playing during the time that they were getting raided. So these guys everybody was just mad that these guys were given base protection, and they've been playing for 18 hours straight. And the funny thing too was that Wesley even knew that these guys were going to get off soon because they were playing for so long, but made this random deal with them behind the entire event's back to get these guys off the server. And it was so stupid. It was so ridiculous. I could not believe what I saw. And that was a nail in the coffin for the event. And Wesley, eventually, after everyone was saying that that's some bullshit, ended the event right then and there.
So pretty much, so they were offlining everyone, or they were offlining a lot of people.
Technically they offlined us because I wasn't even on.
Yeah, because you weren't there. They were offlining quite a lot of people, and then.
But that's not against the rules either. We're just saying that.
Yeah,
what was
that
happening.
was fine. Wesley made a deal with them saying if they get off the server now, they can because they need to rest and stuff. Because they've been playing for 18 hours, they can they get offline protection. And then he made an announcement in the Discord saying their team 1 has agreed to get off until the next region change, but they have offline protection. And immediately everyone was incredibly mad about it. And here's another thing that I noted. So Wesley gave them it so that they could rest, right? Like sleep and whatever.
No, he gave it them to get them off the server.
Why does it does it like agreed to hop off? Like what?
Yeah.
That's what he did.
They were holding him ransom, bro.
Is it like
you will
like
give us
people-
protection?
Because it sounds like everyone had a problem with them being online and just wanted them to like hop offline, so the admins like negotiated a deal. Like
no, not really.
No. What
Because
happened
we wanted
was
to-
that these guys were dominating so
wanted-
hard.
Yeah,
That's how
we wanted to know who they were first, and then it wasn't a get them off the server by any means. It was, can we know who they are? Which was denied, and them hopping off the server for base protection was completely Wesley's doing, and he said so himself in game chat, which was caught on my stream. So it was it was really weird because obviously no one liked that. So I think he then joined our call, and he said a
This is
bunch of
before
stuff
the event stops.
Yeah, before the event stops. He joins RVC and then says he's not bothered to discuss it in text chat, so he'll just go in voice. And then he says a bunch of stuff that contradicts himself. Starting from the top, basically, he said he can't change the rules mid-event, which then contradicts himself by adding a no offline rule for their base specifically.
Yeah, I was about to ask, did anyone else get offline
Nope.
base
Nope, no one did. No one else did.
at any point of the
Nope.
event?
No.
Okay.
And also, there was also a skin color rule, which a lot
Wow.
of the time we were noticing, like you couldn't have pure white, pure black, or pure green, because of
Racist much.
Well, also nothing
Because-
stopped
because
people
of-
from
because
just
of
doing like the
camouflage.
next closest thing to those colors. Like,
yeah.
Some people were just straight
I
up
think
not
for-
following the rules.
Yeah, no, for like there were like people who were going like 11 hours strong with green skin still, and we did note them multiple times.
And then nothing really
Um,
occurred.
Yeah, nothing happened. They didn't stop. There was also a buildables outside of bases rule where you couldn't build outside of your own team's base or like near it, and the top team was observed to do that multiple times, and Wesley just didn't do anything about it, and even commented on it twice, I think, once or twice, which is really weird.
It was just dumb.
Yeah. And also the main thing that gets me is, why did they use alt accounts? I feel like as like a basic thing, you shouldn't allow in people on alt accounts.
I'll say this right now. I think we all can agree that we all read the rule that mysteriously disappeared, saying you can only have your main account, no alt account,
Yeah.
in this event, and it magically
Unless it's some kind of goddamn like Mandela effect or whatever.
Dude, I swear to
don't know.
God, I read that in the text. You only can use your main account, no alt account.
yeah, I
counting
thought
on
I
the
did
event.
too.
No, I
I was
didn't.
like,
Oh, no.
I swear to
literally
God,
all
everyone
three
read
of
it.
us were like, wait, can't you not use alts? And then we checked the
I don't
rules
know.
and it wasn't there.
It wasn't there. Yeah, it
kinda
was so weird, so weird. Like
But,
I don't know.
But and then also other like weird stuff about management, like the fact that there was no main account only rule, which we said like obviously it feels like there might have been. There was also no minimum Steam level or minimum Steam age, which I feel like with a paid prize pool tournament, that should be kind of enforced, you know?
Wait. So
Because-
there was a entry
so-
fee.
No,
No.
there wasn't an
No.
entry fee, but there was a prize pool. But
Oh,
but what
I
I'm saying is, there wasn't a rule against people against joining below a certain Steam level, and there was no rule against a certain Steam age. So if you just made your account, you could enter, pretty much.
Literally,
mean- That could be fine. It just like, I think every account should have been vetted beforehand.
for real.
I don't think account age really matters. I think vetting the accounts matters.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. But the thing is that for this event, that none of that happened. Literally, if a group of hackers would have gone, I would have known some people that would have done it if they knew about it. Like, some people are mad they didn't even know that the event was going to happen because they would do some shit like this. I can imagine where in a scenario, the next event, something like that were going to happen, and the same shit happens, that he would have just lost his money to a bunch of cheaters because I don't know, it's very suspicious.
And also the thing about the whole like a minimum Steam level and age rule is that after there was like a bit after, this is kind of like a side thing, but there was a Discord server made by Wesley and Liam Does Game, and it was for Unturned challenges and stuff. And as soon as I saw that was a thing, I messaged Liam about some of this stuff, and I told him to implement rules which Wesley didn't, including stuff like minimum Steam age and stuff, and I think it was minimum hours on Unturned was what I told him. Stuff like that, and I think if you check his recent tournaments, requirements for applying 180 plus hours, public account, including hours plus inventory. So he's taken that advice, whereas
Yeah.
Wesley kind of argued against it, which is weird.
hopefully with that partnership, they'll be better moderated and like more official.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because Liam has done tournaments with like really
Liam knows
good.
how to do a tournament because he's
Like
an
that one
unturned player.
tournament had the golden or skin as the reward.
Golden skins, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I trust Liam in developing, his tournaments. He's always been
Yeah.
having good tournaments, no matter what, even from back in the day. And
Yeah.
I talked to Liam about some certain stuff in the DMs. He's like, I asked him for some information. He sent it to me. I know Liam. Liam's a good guy. I'll say this forever, until the ends of time. Until Liam does not become a good guy. But Liam's is cool. He's very, for someone that's been kind of like on the outskirts of the community. He's like very, very in tune with his scene and very in tune with Unturned, and I really respect that. I really appreciate Liam for that.
Yeah.
Because again, yeah, Liam did see a lot of dumb shit that happened, and was like, yeah, no.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want
Yeah.
to see these tournaments succeed though, because I think Unturned needs
Yeah,
more of
cool.
this.
Oh yeah, I completely agree. I'm not
wanted
trying
to
to,
say- I wanted to just say that Liam is probably like the least controversial person in the community. Like, I don't think Liam has had beef with anyone at any point. And like, do you know a single
Small
person that
berry?
has like us?
Yes.
Okay.
I know someone who has beef with Liam actually.
No.
But
But, like-
that's one person,
Has that-
yeah. I would say like
has
he's like one of the least. Like he's
Not-
like barely any beef with anyone.
Not like
yeah.
beef. Mainly like, do you know someone who has like a legit
reason to hate him.
negative opinion of him? Yeah.
Yeah, fair. I think another thing. Okay, something which was really controversial when I brought it up as a possibility. In the Discord, it was controversial because it was negative to the winners. And obviously the winners went against me and insulted me for it. I think
That was
that
very sad.
for tournaments, there should be an anti-OP team system. And what I mean by this is, if you win a tournament, you shouldn't be able to join the next tournament with the same teammates. Now, this is a really like controversial thing, at least to them apparently, because
I don't
obviously
really
they couldn't
agree
they
personally.
couldn't just sweep.
The thing is, here I'm gonna add
Because-
on to what Dilly said. These guys know a lot of players. Like, it's not like these guys would run out with players to play with. Like, they know a lot of people, and I know a lot of people that they know. They know, so it's not like they're ever gonna run out of people to team with too. So I kind of find it funny that they kind of attacked you on that point, because
Yeah.
to be honest,
Because,
I do
here's
get them.
what I mean by that is that if they keep on, it's the kind of the thing of it's kind of meant to split up the teams really, because the main issue is that these guys are so completely out of everyone else's league that they sweep entirely, and so if they keep on re-entering, it's just gonna be the same team that sweeps. The main thing that I mean by no repeated teammates is that they should be able, is that if the same teammates enter, they shouldn't be with the same people, so that there's at least two teams, at least two high skill level teams that go against each other instead of one extremely high level team. There
The
should be
main-
at least two so that they, can fight each other.
That's kind of striking at the core, the point of the tournament. Are you trying to make the tournament like just fun, right? So people hop on, they have like a reason to play the game, or
Pretty
are you
much,
trying?
Yeah, because that
Or
was
are you trying to make a very competitive scene to really find out who is really the best at the game? Because if you're doing the latter, I think that doesn't really work. But if you're making a tournament
Yeah.
just for fun, I think that's a
Um,
very fair rule.
I don't agree personally. I think that people should be able to play with, like, they shouldn't be barred from choosing what teammates they want. I think different like tournaments and brackets could be created instead. Like, if they made a tournament for amateur players and then a
Oh, yeah.
tournament for like really competitive players, like the competitive one is more money or something. I think there's other solutions. I don't think it's a good idea splitting up.
If tournament has like involves a prize pool, then I guess it's not really that much. But if you're making a tournament just for fun, I see that, because it just as you said,
Wesley.
it splits the teams. It works for balance. It's kind of like a matchmaking system, really, because you're
Yeah.
gonna end up people with like casual tournaments. You're gonna end up with people with vastly different skill levels, and it's just not really fun for anyone. It's not really even fun for the winning team, I suppose, if all they're doing is just stomping players like
Yeah, pretty much.
much of a much lower
I don't
skill
know.
level.
Getting the $300 is something I'd be like,
Like,
fuck these
if you-
kids, bro.
To be okay, what I mean is, like, Wesley said that the tournaments are for fun. Like, obviously it's like, oh, who's best out of these people, whatever, because that's just the nature of a tournament. But I think that the main thing is that if I mean, it wouldn't be permanent. Like, you win like one tournament with your teammates that you can never ever play with them again. It's more of like, I think just for the next tournament, I guess. Because I think
Yeah,
that
I guess
I
they
think
can
that
just like.
what
I
was
mean,
it?
if you were to make it as like a series of tournaments that like it happens every 2 months or something like that, like if there was
Yeah.
a guarantee that there will be a next tournament, the prize pool will basically be the same and everything, so no one feels like it's stacked against them. So, for example, like a team wins like $100 in a tournament, and the next one is $200, and they cannot be together in that tournament. That may feel like it's kind of stacked against them. So if you were to make like a series of tournaments and every tournament would have like the same reward and everything, then
Yeah.
I'd see that as a fair rule. But you need to kind of give people that guarantee that this is like not a permanent thing. Like there will be another
Yeah.
tournament, you will have other chances to play it. Just we're trying to make it fair for everyone else.
or
That's kind of what they're already doing. With the new challenge, they're making so it's like 5 teams of 10, and they're making 2 different ones. So there's one on the 18th and one on the 25th. I think it's a good idea.
Here's something I would say to all of this, and I thought about it because I'm working eventually on something in the future. I've talked with a couple of people about it, but I was also thinking about what Dilly brought up earlier and what Megamind brought up as a counterpoint to it. It's really difficult to balance these players, so why don't we just copy the best fucking tournament that exists for a survival game out there? Minecraft Championship exists as a thing. You know what they did? Following Minecraft Monday and how it was only
I was gonna bring
PvP.
this up. Yeah, this is how it was either Minecraft Championship or Minecraft Mondays. Scoring went when Technoblade and someone else completely wiped the tournament. They couldn't be on a team again, I think.
Yep, they couldn't be.
And I
well,
think that
Keemstar literally said to them, "No," because he was the one sitting up the team. So he would tell them, "No, you can't be on a team with this person anymore." It was so funny.
Yeah,
but the thing was, no. Not only that, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the way to nerf PvP players, but not necessarily nerf their skill at PvP and not remove their friends. So
didn't MCC have like specific rules for putting like Technoblade with other pro players? Like
but the reason
like he usually end up on teams with like very fresh people or like people who were not considered to be like pro players of the game, right? I think that was a thing.
Yeah, that happened in both events. But something again that effectively it developed because of this problem that we are talking about right now is the effect that PvP itself is. Yes, it's a good moniker of championship, but if you're trying to make a tournament for entertainment purposes and for it to be fun, it's gonna just always be the same concurrent people gonna try to win. What was the way that these guys remedied that? They literally added different game modes. Build battle.
I was gonna
find the button.
I was gonna bring up. You know what? MCC was such a great tournament because they did not play Minecraft.
Unturned build battle.
Yep.
Unturned build battle. That could work.
I mean, like the thing is like again, like they remedied this problem that we're discussing right now by adding different game modes for different people to play into the event still and not feel like they're cheated out of.
Yeah.
Even though I did
find
that Hypixel game mode, one Hypixel game mode, the very competitive one. You know what?
Bed War.
Bed Wars?
No,
Bed
Wars?
Sky
Oh,
Wars.
Bed Wars. No, there's like a PvP kind of.
Sky Wars.
Not Sky Wars. There's this like.
The Pit?
God damn it! Not the Pit. God damn it! It's like a battle royale kind of thingy, kind of deal.
You mean
Hunger Games?
What are you talking about?
Not Hunger Games. Not Hunger
What?
Games.
I'm
was
trying to think of what you're
Hypixel.
talking about.
It was
What other
Hypixel
battle royales
exclusive.
are there, bro? What?
It was Hypixel exclusive. I have to remind me.
UHC.
Bruce,
Hypixel Royale.
UHC. Oh,
UHC. So what if we had something like UHC for Unturned,
I
basically?
thought about that.
I mean, UHC is just vanilla, isn't it? It's
it
just
kind of is, but it's more like faster. It's more faster.
It's
vanilla.
faster, more adjusted to like competitive PvP vanilla. It's kind of like
True.
vanilla because it still has like the spirit of the game, right? It's still like it still feels like Minecraft, but it's much faster, much more PvP oriented, basically.
Yeah. I feel like I feel like as a thing that could probably work. Something like UHC could work. Especially if it goes off like a elimination system, where once you die you're out. That could work really well, especially for a larger map like Trilogy or Amia, because the main thing was that I think once you got extremely geared, there would be like players in every place that you could get geared that would completely guard it, and so it, you just couldn't win after a while.
Minecraft, you can't guard the diamonds. Ooh.
So it would be like a mashup between the arena game mode and like a normal survival game mode, I guess.
Yeah.
Did you
Suspicious.
If it was just like big arena with like food spawns.
It would like imagine PEI, but it's like okay. So okay. My idea on how to do this is like get a survival map, right? Expand it beyond its borders, right? But like the map itself is still the size, and turn it into an arena map. So like the zone will be shrinking, but people will have a prep time on like survival. Basically, that'll be pretty long, like few hours, even maybe.
I honestly thought that would be a longer prep time. I think, honestly, yeah. Here's another thought. I was watching a Rust charity event. It was 10 hours long, and they had 100. It was like 20 times loot server, and he had the I think 3-hour grace period where you built up a base, you got loot, and like everyone just was chill, right?
Yeah, something like that.
I was watching this, and I'm like, this seems so funny, seems so fun, and I was like, man, if you were to implement this in Unturned between 12 PST to literally at like 10 PST, it would work. Times would
It
work.
could work if like I guess if you lost your base, although what does it mean to lose your base?
If you like, I guess if you lose your beds, that's how you would want to do it.
If you lose your beds, you die. But
You're out. That would be how I would remedy that problem. But I know that's kind of AIDS, but that's kind of how it would be if you had
people
like a
would
20
actually
times
make cuts. No way.
Yeah, COTS would be useful. But yeah, there's so many things you can do with tournaments. I think the future, when it comes to the scene, hopefully it goes big, but I don't know. I don't know how long. Again, Wesley's putting so much money. I think this next tournament, like, how much is on the line? Like 1,000?
1 million.
Is it
1
1K?
billion.
Trillion dollar.
But anyway, he's spending a lot of money on these events.
Yeah.
To give credit, and also to give credit to Wesley. I know we were talking about his last event, but I mean, overall, the problems with other past events before Wesley's events were really, really bad, and Wesley did fix up a bit. I was talking to some Unturned players that were like playing the event and played the other events as well, and they're saying, I'm glad it's not the same bullshit as other events, because in the past you had to wait like 2 hours to see results of who won the event, and on top of that, there's also some problems when it comes to like money and issues when it comes to that. I'm not gonna get into that. It was like so stupid for those other events, but Wesley has not had those major problems facing those other events of the past, and now is facing new problems when it comes to just gameplay. But I mean, overall, when it comes to in the grand scheme of all the Unturned events before Wesley has outperformed all of them 100%, and Wesley has done pretty good. He's pretty literate when it comes to Unturned. Not like super crazy, but he's there. So there's a point of respect, and I want to tell Wesley, if you're listening to this, man, keep doing what you're doing, man. Just what we're saying is just criticism of like what happened, what was going on on our end, and I think you know that, and you're gonna work to better than your next event. Like you said, many times beforehand. So I believe in you. I hope you continue to do these events because they're fucking interesting to watch. I mean, like, it's funny to see some of these players who have never met some of these. Like, it's funny to see communities kind of clash in these events and thinking that they're tough shit, and then like getting their whole world rocked by these players that we're never given really respect for anything. But now that it really matters, people are like, okay, I get it. So yeah, that's good. I don't really know what else we wanted to say during this episode because we've been going on for about an hour now.
I just wanted to say that anything I said about tournaments and stuff, I am not a competitive player, and you're free to criticize me in the comments.
Along with me, but I'll say this:
I have no idea. I have no idea what
I've been playing this game since before. Probably most of you have ever played this game.
He has a problem.
I've been playing since before you were born.
There's gonna be a point in time where I'm able to say that. I'm gonna be playing for like a decade and be like, some of the players have Unturned.
Listen. That guy over there, or to the left, has a problem. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Okay, there is a difference.
I have a problem. Is that what you're saying?
I think that
Yes.
I think that mainly, I think the main issue with the tournaments for me is that he is putting all of this money into it, but then I don't know. It feels just off to me that the same people will be getting it over and over.
I mean, again,
yeah.
I'm not really mad at
that's how tournaments work, I guess.
It's a bit silly because it's just like, again, these people were, and I'm gonna say this continuously, the majority of the community of Unturned does not like these people. Like, look at any inner community, any of the established scenes, you will see that the PvP community is the only community out of all of them that has been underrepresented and been made fun of for the longest time. And I've seen it firsthand across so many scenes. And now that they're somewhat effectively winning and gaining some level of respect, good for them, It's always been one group of people that I've always felt kind of bad for because they're the most quietest and they're the people that, grind the hardest in this game if you think about it here. Like, this
That's
guy's
definitely
crazy.
Unturned. Everybody's like, bro, fat green skins.
Yeah.
Bro, green skins winning money now.
So I'm glad they're winning in some regard. After all these
green
years,
no longer represents grass; it's now the bag they get.
But just know soon there'll be a whole thing about this. I don't know. You guys want to end it here? You guys don't want anything else to talk about before I end it here?
Dude, these green skins are gonna be winning so much cash that they can eventually play on higher than lowest graphics.
They can turn up the grass.
They can turn up the graphics slightly, finally.
All right, well, that's gonna end it for this episode of the Unturned podcast. I forgot the intro and the outro before the episode started, so that's something funny for y'all to know.
That's how you know that we're slowly just losing it.
We're slowly losing it. I think that's the case that we strive for now. Slowly losing it. That's how we're gonna go about.
Yeah, that is the motto of season 2.
Season 2 is slowly losing it. I don't know. Okay, I guess before we end it, what would season 3 be like? I don't think season 3 is ever gonna happen, but
dude,
sheesh.
we were not thinking about season 2 in season 1, and we barely started season 2, and you're like,
What is season 3?
Nelson's gonna be a host.
I'm gonna have 1 million subscribers, so there'll be plenty of Unturned players. Don't worry.
True.
Alright.
True.
All right.
Maybe I'll be on Spotify by that point or something. I don't know.
All right.
Yeah.
Goodbye, everybody. Bye. Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.